काय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna devotees, I welcome all of you for this continuation of Nectar of Instruction, verse 1. Today, hopefully by Prabhupada's grace, we will be able to uh, see all the final urges which we are left and also discuss how we can try to control them. So before we begin, let's have a bird's eye view, which Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says that how the six urges they are divided into three categories: speech, mind, and body. Speech urges vacho vegam, which can be controlled by speaking Krishna Katha. Mind's urge is of two times avirod priti and virod yukt krodh. That means unrestricted attachment or anger in frustration. Unrestricted attachment can be controlled by thinking of Krishna, and anger can be used against those who are offended to devotees and Lord. Finally, it is body. Body's urges are of three types: Jiva, Udar, and Upasth. Jiva can be controlled. Last time we discussed only by eating Krishna Prasadam. Udar and Upasth today we are going to see, but just for the sake of overview, Udar can be controlled by observing fastings, and Upasth can be controlled by begetting Krishna conscious children. So these are the solutions which Prabhupada gives. So now let us continue reading. So now, after describing Vacho, Mansa, Krodh, Jiva, here comes another urge, which is urge of belly. So urge of belly, we already discussed before also, that Prabhupada doesn't talk much about urge of belly. So mostly the urge of belly in our nectar of instruction is Prabhupada is quoting from his spiritual master's commentary, Anuvritti, that is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur here. So what is urge of belly, we have to understand. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur gives a very beautiful definition. Please, one of you can read what does urge of belly means?
Those those who suffer from diseases of the stomach must be unable to control the urges of belly, at least according to this analysis. When we desire to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in life.
Correct. When we desire to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in life. Now, what is this desire to eat more than necessary means? Hmm? And how it is different from Jiva Vegam? Jiva also means desire, nahi? But there is a big difference in both. What is the difference? So let us try to see the differences in both. Hmm? So, urge of belly, what does it mean? It is urge to fill the stomach. But urge of tongue means urge to satisfy the tongue. है ना? So, urge of belly is usually eating many types of food. कुछ भी आ जाए, I will eat. चाहे वो समोसा हो, पकोड़ा हो, चपाती हो, चावल हो, दाल हो, दलिया ही क्यों ना हो, खिचड़ी ही क्यों ना हो. But I like to fill my stomach more and more. This is called urge of belly, to eat more. But urge of tongue is little different. Urge of tongue is a taste, or it is for specific food and taste. I want to eat only sweets. I want to eat only pakodas, or I want to eat only bitter items. है ना? So specific taste and specific food that comes under a tongue, because tongue is for the taste. But eating and filling up the stomach with more and more things, that comes under urge of belly. So urge of belly, can in return results in agitating the tongue also. Because when you will eat so many foodstuffs, definitely one of them we will like, and we would like to eat more of that. And similarly, urge of tongue also can lead to increase in the urge of belly. So they both are complementary. So if somebody is having urge of tongue, then eventually he is going to have urge of belly also. And if somebody is having urge of belly, then eventually he may also have urge of tongue. It is may, not compulsory. But most of the cases, because they're complementary to each other, we are most likely to have. Now, how to understand whether I am suffering from urge of belly or urge of tongue? Hmm. So, very nice analysis which is done by Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur as we read. He says mostly always result in health ailments. So, if somebody is falling sick too much, that means you should understand he is falling sick because of overeating, urge of belly, not able to control urge of belly. You know? So in Ayurveda also it is mentioned that the root cause of all the sickness is stomach. Hmm. So whenever you go to any Ayurvedic doctor, first thing he will ask is how is your stomach? Even allopathic doctors also for that sake, they ask for stomach. And in fact, in allopathy, also when they give you a medicine for any other disease, and most of the time they also give you one medicine so that your stomach don't get upset. Pantoprazole, Pentop, it is called, and so that you don't get gases and other things. In fact, ulcer and most of the problems are uh, because of the stomach. So we can see if I am feeling dizziness, too much lethargy, and so on and so forth. So one of the major reason could be urge of belly. It's not the reason because Kali Yuga, Kaler Dosha Nidhe Rajan, there can be many causes of disease. But generally, the main cause is belly most of the time. But when we talk about urge of tongue, it may not lead necessarily to the health ailments. So we may be eating a lot, or then it will result in health ailment. But if we are tasting too many foods, if we are addicted to one taste of a food, it's not necessary we will get sick. So that's why urge of tongue is very difficult to understand. Also, that I am facing this problem of tongue. Tar madhye jiva teen logo moya suno. Jiva is very, voracious. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, as we discussed last time. So here what we see is that tongue, it cannot be detected whether we are having attraction for specific taste of food commonly. How urge of belly can be controlled? It is controlled by restrictions. An urge of tongue, as we discussed earlier, it can be controlled only by Krishna, only, no other ways. So now, Bhakti Siddhanta Sri Thakur, we continue reading from our Nectar of Instruction commentary by Prabhupada. He gives a solution. Please read the solution. One of you can read. How is
How
it?
is, if we observe fasting days like Ekadasi and Janmashtami, we can restrain the demands of the belly.
Correct. So this is a Vedic system of controlling the demands of belly by observing fastings. Hmm. Not intermittent fasting, what common people are telling, but fasting on Ekadashis, Janmashtami, and now Kartik month is starting, so many people take many vow. Hmm. So this thing help us to control the urge of belly when we do some fastings, you know, and we have so many festivals, nahi, and so many fastings are there. So it will keep the stomach cool, calm, and composed, so that the urge doesn't increase much. So now, when this thing comes is to eat less, many times devotee follow very uh, impractical and strict standards of eating. Hmm. I know there are devotees who eat just fruits, and some devotees are there who eat only Ekadashi. Every day is Ekadashi. And it's not that only one day is Ekadashi. Every day, Ekadashi. And then there are some devotees who avoid sweets. Then there are some devotees who eat only once in a day. There are so many standards devotees follow, correct? So now the question arises, Prabhuji, what I should do? You know, whether I should skip some meals or whether I should stop eating. So for us, we can follow what our acharyas are telling, and it's a very simple instructions, and which Srila Prabhupada gives in the purport to Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 28th chapter, verse number 3. Prabhupada says, please, one of you can read, Prabhu.
The next important phrase is mit medhyanam, which means that one should eat very frugally. It is recommended in the Vedic literatures that a yogi eat only half what he desires according to his hunger.
If one is so hungry that he could devour 1 pound of foodstuff, then instead of eating 1 pound, he should consume only half a pound and supplement this with 4 1 ounce of water. 1/4 of the stomach should be left empty for passing of air in the stomach. If one eats in this manner, he will avoid indigestion and diseases. The yogi should eat in this way, as recommended in the Srimad Bhagavatam and all other standard scripture.
Correct. So Prabhupada is very merciful to us. He has gathered information from all around. And he has given a very wonderful formula, which is eat very frugal. See, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, and we should not eat, a yogi should not eat too less or he should not eat too much. So not eating too less and not eating too much is also important for a yogi. Now I want to know all of you, from all of you, if a devotee or a yogi, bhakti yogi, if he eats too much, what are the problems he's likely to face? If he eats too much, how it is going to affect our bhakti, please?
Prabhuji, lethargy,
Okay,
dizziness.
okay, lethargy and dizziness. Okay, thank you. We have Shivanath Nityanand Prabhu, laziness. Okay, lethargy and dizziness, same. Anything else?
Indigestion problems.
Indigestion problems. Okay, sleep. Okay, will be too much sleeping. Stomach problems. Yes. Anything else? बस प्रभु जी इन सब के लिए तो गोली खा लूंगा, मैं ठीक हो जाऊंगा, फिर तो खा ही सकते हैं, ओवर ईटिंग कर सकते हैं. His focus will be diverted. Okay, Ashish Pru, Kanchan Pru,
He,
sense become
he
strong.
will not chant attentively.
Okay, he
Uh,
will not be able to chant attentively. He will be conscious of food and finding food. Okay, correct. So many good points. See, one of the very important thing in eating too much is it leads to the agitation of all other senses. Eating too much. Hmm. So therefore, we will find that when one is in distress. Hmm. So the favorite kind of activity what a distressed people like to do is eat a lot. So especially in modern day, it is observed that because people are in so much stress, so therefore there are so many varieties of foodstuffs which are available, and they want to go and eat many varieties of foodstuff and just fill up their stomachs. Because it this urge is somehow or other also connected with releasing stress. So belly also, if we eat too much, then as you all said, we become lazy, lethargy. Our mind will not be focused. Our senses will be agitated, you know, and will not be able to chant our rounds properly, you know, and will be more bodily conscious. Okay, afterward it will be difficult for us to control our weight also, and so many other things will be there. So that is how this belly overeating affects. Now undereating, how it can affect undereating? If we eat too less, ठीक है bro जी, I'll not eat anything. एक time yogi बस, I'll eat only carrot.
Project devotee will suffer from weakness.
Okay, we will suffer from weakness, है ना? Because ahar is needed for the body. Okay, and any other thing?
Still laziness.
Okay, laziness. Now overeating also creates laziness, and undereating also creates laziness. Yes. Anything
He will
else?
be unable to serve. He will
Okay,
not.
to serve. Okay. Anything else?
while chanting, his mind always go for food and not
So,
focus on the chanting.
okay. Okay. We have something on chat. No nourishment to the body to do devotional service. Okay. Fever of body senses also agitate. Senses will crave and then find any opportunity it will do overeating, health issues. Correct. So actually, what will happen if we too much undereat? Then all these problems will come, as you mentioned, because body will not have that much strength and that much immunity. Even all diseases will come, you know, and he may not remain enthusiastic. So therefore, in the Shastras, the formula is given, which Prabhupada is pointing out here. What is the formula? Prabhupada says half of the stomach should be filled with food. So now how to know what is half of a stomach? So Prabhupada is giving practical thing. Suppose you are hungry and one day you can check how much I can eat when I am hungry. So Prabhupada is telling if you can eat 1 pound of foodstuffs, suppose you can eat 300 grams of foodstuffs. Then next day onwards, you understand that this is my full capacity. So now, if I want to eat moderately, what I should do? I should bring it to half. So 300 को कर लो कितना 150 and then जो full की capacity का 1/4 है, so 1/4 will be around 75. तो 75 हमको grams क्या लेना चाहिए? Water, and rest 75 we should leave for air. So some people have this notions कि while eating we should not eat water. नहीं, we should drink water, but this much quantity only. So it is recommended if you, because it's like our stomach is like a mixer grinder, है ना? So those of you who might have handled mixer grinder, if you just fill mixer grinder with so much stuff, it will become jam, correct? It needs some liquid. Like when we make dhania ki chutney, if you put dhania only in the mixer grinder, although dhania is very soft, but mixer will not grind it, correct? Have you observed this? You know? So we need to put little water into it. Similarly, while eating also, it is recommended that during the eating, when we have not finished, we can drink little bit of water just to make so that our stomach has some lubrication, and it has some lubrication, and also keep little gap. So now how to check? So in Ayurveda, it is said that if somebody eats half a stomach and fills his 1/4 of the stomach with water, and rest of the portion is for air, then automatically he will get burp, dakar. So when he will get burp or dakar, then he should understand that now my 1/4 portion is filled with air. Now I should stop eating. Because that is a signal of a body to tell us that now you have eaten a lot. And that's what Prabhupada is telling. And therefore he is telling if somebody does this, then he will avoid indigestion and diseases. So most of the diseases and indigestions he will be avoiding. Another thing, Prabhupada also wrote to Kirtanand Swami in a letter. Please, one of you can read, Prabhu.
So far as eating only 2 chapatis and a little vegetable daily, I never said that. I do not know why such news has spread without my written authority. One should eat as much as he requires. He should not overeat, that is the point. Without eating properly, how can we work? If one can digest them, then he can eat 20 chapatis. But if he cannot digest, then he should not even take 2 chapatis. The Ayurvedic system is to take half of what you can eat only. The fill 1/4 with water and leave 1/4 for air. That will make for proper digestion. Little rice, dal, some vegetables, some chapatis like that, but eat right to the point to keep health steady.
Correct. So Prabhupada is clearly telling standards are different for different devotees. Somebody can digest 20 chapatis, he can eat 20, because it's all depend upon what is his Jatra Agni level. And that is based upon previous karmas of all the devotees. So that's like we do not compare each other in the terms of height. And I don't say, Arey, he's longer than taller than me, so I should, somehow stretch myself with the machine. It doesn't happen like that. Similarly, we should not also compare ourselves in eatings. We should try to find out our own eating. How much is sufficient for me, as much as I required. So that much we should try to find out for ourselves. And this way it will be good. But if you are not consciously learning about this art, then we will not be able to serve in longer time. See, as we discussed in the beginning of this verse is not directly about bhakti, but it is indirectly mentioning those items which can, if we control them, then it will be helpful in bhakti. So now this much only is given for belly, and we are not going to go into Ayurveda much. So let us go to the next paragraph about genitals, the last urge. So interestingly, as our Srila Prabhupada is so merciful, without mentioning what is the urge of genitals, he directly gives us the solution. So let us read the solution of Srila Prabhupada, and then let us see, because Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also point out the problem. What is this urge of genitals? Upasthamekam, what does it mean? Please read, Prabhu.
In a similar manner, the urges of the genitals, the sex impulse, can be controlled when not used unnecessarily. The genitals should be used to beget a Krishna conscious child, otherwise, they should not be used. The Krishna conscious movement encourages marriage not for the satisfaction of the genitals but for the begetting of Krishna conscious children. As soon as the children are a little grown up, they are sent to our Gurukula school, where they are trained to become fully Krishna conscious devotees. Many such Krishna conscious children are required, and one who is capable of bringing forth Krishna conscious offspring is allowed to utilize his genitals.
So see, this is urge of genitals. Prabhupada is giving solution directly. We'll discuss more about solution uh, now further also. But before we should be knowing what is the problem. What are the urge of genital means. Hmm. So Prabhupada only writes it in the Anuvritti commentary by Bhakti Sansa Thakur. He describes the problem. Hmm. So he says, as far as the urges of genitals are concerned, there are two urges are there. First, proper or legal. Second, improper illicit. What does proper or legal means? When a man is properly mature, he can marry according to the rules and regulation of the Shastras and use his genitals for begetting nice children. That is legal and religious. That is legal and religious. Next, he is telling improper or illicit. Otherwise, he may adopt many artificial means to satisfy the demand of genitals, and he may not use any restraint. When one indulges in illicit sex life as defined by the Shastras, अब बता रहे वो डिफाइंड क्या है ना? वो क्या है वो अर्ज, है ना? So now he is defining according to defined by the Shastra, either by thinking, planning, talking about, or actually having sexual intercourse, or by satisfying the genitals by artificial means, which is called masturbation nowadays. He is caught in the clutches of Maya. These instructions apply not only to householders, but also to Tyagis or those who are in renounced order of life. So now, just a little focus on this, the problem. See, there is a legal way and there is an illicit way, what Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is pointing out, which is very important to understand. See, genitals are there, they may get agitated. And Shastras, they have a provision to satisfy that urge of genitals, but in a proper way. That means unrestricted enjoyment is restricted in the Shastras. So the proper way is to get married and according to the rules and regulations of the Shastras, use genitals for begetting nice children. So now let us talk about this proper way. What does proper way means? So proper way is if your genitals are too much agitated, then what one should do is should get married and then have a sex only for producing Krishna conscious children. That is what Prabhupada is writing. Now, many times this problem which is faced by the devotees that we may not be at that standard. Because if the genitals are agitated, to satisfy them only we went to Gras Ashram. And now you are telling in Gras Ashram have it only for producing children. Then it will be difficult. Nahin? So then how we will be able to even control our urges in Gras Ashram also? So now in the Shastras also it is mentioned at various standards. Even Prabhupada also writes at various places. You know? One place he writes, yes, this is a golden standard that one should have sex only for begetting Krishna conscious children. If one does this, then what is the destination? He will achieve Golok back to Godhead. But then there are lower standards. What are the lower standards? Prabhupada writes at one place that one can have a sex with his wife after the menstrual period of wife, like that he says. So what does that mean? That means that even for not producing children, one can have this sex urge to be satisfied in this way. But then the result will not be Golok Vrindavan. So Shastras give different standards for the devotees or for anybody who want to control this urge of sex. But as per the standard, the goal is also like that. Third standard Prabhupada gives is, he writes in his Bhagavatam's purport. He says that a good grahastha is one who have one wife and one husband. Their woman is attached to one man, man is attached to one woman. So one, it's no problem. They can have sex only with one man, woman can have sex only with one man, and man can have sex with only one woman. So now here also one third standard. But again, if somebody is indulging in this standard, he cannot expect to go back home back to Godhead. This is also given in the scriptures. So although there are different standards, because Shastras also know that these people in this Kali Yuga, they are not always up to the golden standard. But they should be slowly trying to raise themselves. So as a devotee, which standard we should follow? So we should follow that standard which is favorable for my bhakti or for my grahast ashram for that per se. Because ashrama is a place where I perform bhakti. It is my ashray, where I am feeling shelter of Guru Maharaj and Krishna. So whatever is favorable for the ashram, one should perform that standard, and he should understand that I should one day reach to the golden standard, which is written here for begetting only nice Krishna conscious children. Until unless I do not reach to that standard, I cannot expect that to go back to Godhead. So now, to the degree our desire is strong, to that degree this first standard we can follow. Proper. Another proper is to all together renounce, become a tyagi, become a renunciate, or a brahmachari. So this is also proper way. Improper and illicit sex. Now this is very important to understand. He's saying he may adopt many artificial means to satisfy the demand of genitals. Means what? He is not actually engaging in a proper legal way of having sex life, but artificial ways of satisfying the demands of genitals. They are also satisfying the demands, but they are artificial ways. What are those artificial ways? He says thinking. My God, also okay, kya? Yes, thinking also comes into improper, or it also agitates the genitals. Planning to talk to opposite sex. Talking actually about the opposite sex, or actually having sexual intercourse with one other than one's wife, and by satisfying the genitals by artificial means of masturbation and other things. If somebody is indulging in this activity, then definitely he will be in the clutches of Maya. So the solution for the urge of genitals is given, that one should be doing it in a proper way in a grahasashram, or one can take up the path of a brahmachari ashram, where he is trying to control his urge of genitals. Now, why this urge is so much talked about? Because if one become loose in this urge, then what happens is all other practices which he is doing, they lose the effect. Srimad Bhagavatam talks about this. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Kim vidyaya kim tapasa, kim tyagena shutena va, kim viviktena monena, stribir yasya manohitam. One of you can read the translation, Prabhu?
What is the
What
use
is the
of big
use of big
education?
education or the practice of austerities and renunciation? And what is the use of studying religious scriptures, of living in solitude and silence, if after all that one's mind is stolen by a woman?
Correct. What is the use of big education? Kim vidyaya, kim tapasa, austerity, kim tyagena, renunciation, shrutena va, and hearing all those studying literatures. Kim viviktena mona. What is the use of, keeping mona or remaining in solitude if one's tribhiryasya manohitam, if one's mind is, stolen by a woman, or for women, the mind is stolen by men. Opposite also, it's there, true. So now it's a serious matter that we should be learning how to control this urge of genitals in a proper way. Proper ways of two types, for brahmacharis and for grastas. And simultaneously, we should understand if I am doing it improper way, then that improper way is going to harm my bhakti. It is going to affect my bhakti, and not only affect my bhakti, but all other hymns also which I am performing, they will not help me out. It says, austerity, renunciation, study religious scriptures, living in solitude, silence, all these things will not work. So therefore, one sadhaka should be very serious about controlling these urges of genitals, which nowadays people have so much theory to just enjoy, enjoy, and enjoy. In fact, the whole society is based upon one of the society in the world is based upon enjoyment of genitals. So now who can overcome this urge? ठीक है ब्रो जी, आपने बता दिया, बस कल से क्या कार्तिक वाओ ओवरकम द अर्ज ऑफ जेनाइटिस, बस अभी प्रभु जी आप देखो, आई विल become the eighth Goswami after Bhakti Vinod Thakur, because he is the seventh Goswami and I will be the eighth Goswami. So yes, I don't want to discourage you, but the Shastras points out that Shrita Shrita Shritesu ko nav akhandita dhipuman Rishim Narayanam Rete Yoshin Maye Mayaya. Bhagavatam tells who can control this urge. Please, one of you can read.
Almost all kinds of living entities begotten by Brahma, namely men, demigods, and animals, none but the sage Narayan is immune to the attraction of Maya in the form of woman.
बताइए क्या बोल दिया? All living entities begotten by Brahma, even including Brahma also. Huh? Brahma also gets bewildered. And so we all are begotten by Brahma, men, demigods, animals. Nobody is immune to Maya except Narayana. है ना? Narayan के सामने even Cupid comes, he gives free return gift of Urvashi and all these Apsaras to Cupid also, and he becomes bewildered. Huh? What is happening? So only Narayan is immune to this sex desire, or fully able to control the urge of genitals. So now whether it is in Grihastha ashram, whether it is in Brahmacharya ashram, it, the urge is very strong and we cannot control it. And now the Srimad Bhagavatam also says, then Prabhuji, what we should do is we should say Srila Prabhupada ki jai and close the subject matter, because you gave the answer, we cannot control it. Then why Rup Goswami is unnecessary wasting his time and telling us है ना उपस्थ वेगम कंट्रोल कंट्रोल क्यों कंट्रोल करने के लिए बोल दिया ना भागवत हम नहीं कंट्रोल कर सकते, तो क्या सोल्यूशन है? बट देयर इज वन सोल्यूशन. व्हाट इज द सोल्यूशन? That solution is given here in Srimad Bhagavatam. You all will be happy to know today is Krishna Sharadiya Ras Yatra or Ras Lila or Sharad Purnima, and when the Ras Lila happened. So this is the shloka of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 33. The title of the chapter is the Ras Lila. You know? And this is the final verse of that chapter of Ras Lila. So now you must be thinking, Prabhuji, Ras Lila का final verse कुछ तो amazing होगा. Amazing है हमारे लिए amazing है ना? So it's very good to read it here today, है ना? So all of you can recite together, but keep yourself muted, है ना? We can read. Vrikreditam vrajavadu beredam cha Vishnu Shraddhanvito अनुशृणुयाद अथ वर्णयेद्य भक्तिं परां भगवती प्रतिलभ्य कामं हृद्रोगमश्वो अपहिनोति अचिरेण धीरा. Anyone who faithfully hears or describes the Lord's playful affairs with the young gopis of Vrindavan will attain the Lord's pure devotional service. Thus, he will quickly become sober and conquer lust, the disease of the heart. Congratulations, solution is also given. The solution is anyone. So, solution is applicable for every one of us. Anyone बोल दिया. दूसरा requirement क्या? Who faithfully hears or describes. This is very important. Faithfully. Shraddhanvito, with faith on Krishna. So as we are progressing in our bhakti, ado shraddha se we are progressing more and more. So as we progress, it's also a progression of faith. So that means this method is going to be applicable to the degree we are carrying faith in our heart. Prabhupada says, faith means श्रद्धा शब्द कहे विश्वास सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्ण भक्ति कैला सर्व कर्म कृत होए. This is the golden definition of faith. Faith means that I have full conviction, सुदृढ़ विश्वास, क्या सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्ण भक्ति कैले सर्व कर्म कृत होए. All the activities, the result of karmas, among all the activities I can do, the best of all means is Krishna Bhakti. That means, as a sadhaka, when we develop this firm faith that I will be able to control, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन in controlling of urges. How? By Krishna Bhakti. That's why very important thing here is, even if one is failing, if he still continues bhakti, that means he has faith. That faith, understood? Like suppose uh, somebody is doing bhakti. This is a general experience of devotees. They control this urge of especially genitals for 1 month, 2 month, and 3 months. And they, yes, I have controlled it. Then 4 month, fourth month, the urge again attacks back. And the sadhaka remains awestruck. क्या हो गया? I was controlled fully, and nothing could wave me. But now, small agitation and I'm gone. Why it is happening like this? But still, in the sadhana things, sadhaka things, then no problem. I was attacked by this urge. Maybe I have not heard or described the pastimes of Krishna with more faith. So let me continue bhakti this time with more faith. Bhakti will only help me to overcome this. No matter whatever challenges I am facing. इसको बोलते हैं बेशरम, है ना? सही बोलते हैं, जो है बेशरम उसके फूटे कर्म मतलब उसका ये जो कर्म है ना, ये सारा माया वाले फूट जाएगा, इट विल नॉट अफेक्ट हिम। सही बोल रहे हो लोग, है ना? सो हमारे भी जो भौतिक कर्म है वो सारे फूट जाएंगे, जिसकी वजह से यहाँ पे हम बैठे हुए हैं। लेकिन हमको बेशरम बनना पड़ेगा कृष्णा के लिए। कुछ भी हो जाए, भक्ति नहीं छोड़ना है हमको, कंटिन्यू करते रहना है। ठीक है ब्रो जी, जितना माया अटैक करना है कर लो, जितना मेरे को एक्सपोज करना है कर दो। आई एम गोइंग टू बी देयर। His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, in a very beautiful lecture, he said once, which I really admire a lot. He says कि before Krishna will purify us, he will show us a mirror. And Krishna बोलेंगे, देखो ये काला काला दिख रहा है, इतना आपके अंदर काम क्रोध लोभ भरा हुआ है, इतना मैं क्लीन करने वाला हूँ। ठीक है, याद रखना। और फिर ग्रेटफुली मेरे को प्रेम करना प्लीज। हाँ, तो इसलिए पहले कृष्ण दिखाते हैं कि कितना काम है, कितना क्रोध है। तो हमारे अनर्था जब भक्ति करते हैं, डिवोटीज बोलते हैं, प्रभु जी पहले तो कुछ लग ही नहीं रहा था, अभी लग रहा है कि काम क्रोध बढ़ गया है। इसलिए बढ़ गया कि पहले भी था, लेकिन कृष्णा भी दिखाने लगे आपको है। लेकिन वो देख के मुझे, नहीं नहीं कृष्णा इतना ज्यादा काम क्रोध, मेरे को लगता है आप भी नहीं इसको हटा पाएंगे। ऐसा अगर हम सोचने लगे तो कृष्ण बोले, यू आर अंडर एस्टिमेटिंग मी, है ना? मैं तो सारे काम सबको हटा सकता हूँ, सब कुछ कर सकता हूँ, अंडर एस्टिमेट मत करो मेरे को। दिस श्रद्धा इज रिक्वायर्ड। And not only just Shraddha, after that it says, hears or describes the Lord's playful affairs with young gopis of Vrindavan will attain the Lord's pure devotion service. So, discussing the affairs of Radha and Krishna. So now you may say, ठीक है Prabhuji, let us find out where is Rasa Laguna. नहीं 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 नहीं, है ना? हमारी उतनी श्रद्धा नहीं अभी, तो जितनी श्रद्धा उतनी ही करना है। तो हमारी श्रद्धा प्रभुपाद के ऊपर है, तो हमको प्रभुपाद की कृष्णा बुक पढ़नी चाहिए। So there are devotees who every day try to read Krishna book. Yeah, apart from your Prabhupada book reading, है ना, थोड़ा सा Prabhupada Krishna book पढ़ ले, because Prabhupada has given Krishna book in very beautiful way, है ना, and that will work for us. And as a sadhaka matures more, है ना, he can read many other literatures which are given by our Goswamis describing the pastimes, है ना, Gopal Champu and other Lalit Madhav, Vidag Madhav and all those things. He can read later on, है ना, but at least at our level, we should be happy to read Krishna book. And especially this Kartik month is coming, we can try to take this step of reading Krishna book, not with the goal of finishing. ये finishing का concept नहीं यहाँ पे लिखा है कहीं पे, with the goal of faithful hearing and reading. Faithful वो important है, finishing important नहीं है. And he, first and foremost, Bhagavatam describes there is no solution. Now it says, thus he will quickly become sober and conquer lust, the disease of the heart. Quickly, है ना? हित रोगम अश्व अपहिनोति अचिरेन धीरा. So this is a quick way of controlling. पहले भागवतम बोले nobody can control. Now Bhagavatam says quickly you can control, but only one condition: faithfully. And you have to hear the playful affairs of Krishna and of course gopis will do that. So this is the solution. Prabhupada gives a beautiful purport. I'll read for all of you. The extraordinary power of Lord Krishna's conjugal pastime is clearly revealed. Extraordinary power. Yes, sometimes it is feared. Devotees fear, oh, what will happen if I read? My God, lust will increase. Hmm. So, so in my understanding, yes, lust will increase if we read those things or hear those things without proper guidance. Hmm. That means we are not having blessings of superiors, and of course, we are not having faith. Hmm. Then lust may increase also, because then we will see it in the wrong way. But good news is Prabhupada books all can read. And a Prabhupada Krishna book is for everybody. In fact, before Prabhupada finished Bhagavatam, he gave Krishna book to us so that all of us can read and get benefit. Hmm. So now Prabhupada is talking extraordinary power. Prabhupada's disciples are writing this, but very beautiful purport. Extraordinary power means we will not be able to fathom what is the power of Krishna's pastimes with gopis. Qualitatively, the Lord's spiritual, loving pastimes are the diametric opposite of material, lusty affairs. So much so that simply by hearing about the lost Lord's pastimes, simply by hearing about the Lord's pastime, a devotee conquers sex desire. Simply by hearing, by reading pornographic literature or hearing about material romance, we certainly do not conquer sex desire, but rather increase our lust. But hearing or reading about Lord's conjugal affairs has exactly the opposite effect, because they are of opposite nature, being purely spiritual. Prabhupada is Prabhupada disciples are telling. Therefore, it is by the causeless mercy of the Lord Krishna that he exhibits his Ras Leela within this world. Asharat Purnima. It is causeless mercy that Krishna has done his Ras Leela. Otherwise, why such a pure Ras Leela? And if a Kalyuga Jiva will misinterpret, why Krishna will do that Ras Leela here in this Kalyuga? In fact, as we read the scriptures, it's not just Ras Leela he does in Vasant Panchami or he does on Sharad Purnima. Every month he does Ras Leela. Every day Krishna does Ras Leela. Why he is doing all this? Because of his causeless mercy. He knows any sincere, faithful sadhaka, when he will read my pastimes, he will be able to conquer this unconquerable lust. Krishna says this to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Dushpurena analena cha. This is kama. Very difficult to overcome. It's like devouring fire. No matter how much you try to satisfy, it's never going to get satisfied. But the solution is given by Krishna. Very simple solution. Not much things. See, same thing, lusty affairs previously, Bhakti Thakur was thinking, planning, talking to women. This we can do for Krishna, thinking about Krishna's pastime, reading about Krishna's past. Very simple. If we become attached to this narration, we will experience the bliss of spiritual love and thus reject the perverted reflection of that love, which is called lust. As nicely put by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Param Drishtva Nivartate. Once having directly experienced the Supreme, one will not return to the material pleasures. So this is the way how we can conquer this urge of genitals. Hmm. Now comes the conclusion part. So I've taken a little bit conclusions. Um, okay, this big one we'll take. In his Anuvritti explanation of Updeshamrit, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur writes that our material identification creates these three kinds of urges. Very important thing. Our material identification. The urge to speak, the urge of demands of the mind, and the demands of the body. When a living entity falls victim to these three types of urges, his life becomes inauspicious. Our life will become inauspicious if we fall victim to these six kind of urges. One who practices resisting these demands or urge is called tapasvi, or one who practices austerities. By such tapasya, one can overcome victimization by the material energy, the external potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The conclusion is that one who can control these six items, speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, is to be called a Swami or Goswami. Swami means master and Goswami means master of the go or senses. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I have a very beautiful video of Srila Prabhupada talking about this lust. But before we go into it, if you have any questions, we can try to discuss. Otherwise, we'll hear that video of 7 minutes and then we'll stop for today. Any questions, Prabhuji? Yes, Sandeep, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you were told that if someone is willing to be a Krishna conscious child, but like if a child is not become Krishna conscious, like because he also has some his own past karma, then what will the destination of those parents?
Good question. So the answer is first and foremost thing, it is said in Bhagavad Gita that one gets a birth as per his guna and karma. Hmm. So if the parents are Krishna conscious parents and they are following all the regulations as mentioned by Srila Prabhupada, that they should be before begetting, there is a Garbhadan Sanskar. Garbhadan Sanskar means they take permission from Guru and then they also perform worship of the Lord Shivs. Husband and wife, both of them, they chant the rounds of chanting. Prabhupada mentions somewhere 50 rounds, somewhere 64 rounds. And then they have sexual intercourse. So if somebody is doing this, definitely he will be having Krishna conscious child. But suppose if he doesn't have, so we were just reading the yesterday only, his own as Bhakti Padma Saurav Pracharak Maharaj, another the section of Bhagavatam where Anga Maharaj was a very great devotee, very great devotee, and he performed the yagna to get a child. And then that Yagya Purush gave him some sweet to give to a wife. And he gave that to his wife. And the son which was born was Vena. So Vena was born. And now Vena was born. So Vena was too notorious. He used to kill his friends while playing and used to kill others also. So Ang Maharaj, he is glorifying. He is telling that thank you, my dear Lord. It is better to have uh, uh, bad son than no son. Why? Because I got bad son. Now I am becoming detached from this son and wife business. So Anga Maharaj one fine day he got up early in the morning and left the household life. So there Maharaj was mentioning that actually despite Anga was a great devotee, this thing happened to him. So there is a material way of seeing and spiritual way, but spiritual way of seeing it is that it was plan of Krishna to make him detach. Just like Srila Prabhupada says that when he got married to his wife, so his father said, "It's good that you do not have beautiful wife, otherwise you will become attached to her." So devotee, the main concern is how I will become attached to Krishna. So all then in that case, if suppose still the child is not Krishna conscious, we should understand it's Krishna's plan for me to become attached to Krishna more. But we should do our best so that we can produce Krishna conscious child. Is it okay?
Thank you.
Any other question, Prabhuji? Okay, we have something in chat. We have nothing in chat. Attendance only. Any other questions?
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Guruji, it is said that failures are stepping stone in success to
Okay.
success. How
Okay.
to this in Krishna consciousness and the same time not to become irresponsible in our tryings for conquering lust and all these things. Like जो failures आते हैं वो किस तरीके से हमको डिमोटिवेट ना करे भक्ति छोड़ने के लिए और ताकि ज्यादा से ज्यादा हम भक्ति कर सके.
हाँ, सो देखिए एक्चुअली भक्ति आते हैं, सॉरी फेलियर्स आते हैं, तो स्टेपिंग स्टोन टू सक्सेस है, बिकॉज वी लर्न व्हाई आई फेल्ड दिस टाइम एंड देन वी टेक अ स्टेप सो दैट आई डोंट फेल द नेक्स्ट टाइम. So actually, everything has a use in bhakti, and failures also do have a use in bhakti. So when a sadhaka is trying to do something and he fails, then if he is becoming more devotees, then that those failures are stepping stone to success. But if the sadhaka becomes failure conscious or result conscious, then those failures are not stepping stone to success. So ultimately, our goal is to become not the failure or success conscious, but to become Krishna conscious. So in any difficulty, if I am becoming more Krishna conscious, then that will help us to grow further in health. Because it is described that tough time produces tough people. Tough time produces tough people. But what happened when people become tough? Tough people produces good times, easy times. So when somebody is very, struggles, then he becomes realized, then he becomes like produces easy time. Easy time produces lazy people. And when the things become all right, then that same person who was tough before, now he becomes lazy. And then lazy people have tough times. So this is a cycle which goes on. So what happens with us so that we don't become lazy? Because suppose if I conquer one of my problems now, I may become proud. And that pride will be more dangerous for me. Because in that pride, I may commit offenses. So therefore, Krishna also sends these problems. But only thing is, I should be Krishna conscious. So therefore, if you have come for this camp, Chaitanya Charitabamrita was telling the curve. He was telling till Anartha Nivriti, till Bhajan Kriya and all, the curve is very fast. Anartha Nivriti is a big plateau. And then afterwards, shuk, again the very fast advancement happens. So Krishna wants to test Utsaha, Nishchayat, Dhairyat. So that's what Krishna wants to test. Is it okay, bro?
Yes, Guru.
So now we have another question here. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. We can mute those who are. Most difficult part is to check lust within mind, thinking of it, because we have heard so many previous and especially from people who were women hunters, who had done illicit sex. Uh, though not wanting, these memories again and again come out in mind and ignite lust. How to check this thinking in mind? So, thinking of mind, we have to understand it's a gradual process. And thinking of mind, first and foremost thing, what you did is you asked the right question, and the answer is what Prabhupada says. We just now read that start getting new memories, new inputs to our mind of Krishna Lila, Krishna Gatha. There are so many beautiful pastimes, and of Krishna, which we should start hearing. So yes, we were having bad past, but now we should not continue the bad past. What we should do, yes, you have it, keep it there. Now it may keep on pop up slowly, slowly. It may keep on popping up, and in the form of lusty desires. But as a sadhaka, what we should do is, this is what Mahatma Prabhu said. Mahatma Prabhu, he gave this seminar on this uh, tolerating an itch. Itch means lust. And he said, uh, that if you are seeing more of lust coming to you, the spiritual way of seeing it is that you should think that Krishna, see, I'm having so much deep attachment to material desire, and I'm ready to give up that much deep attachment to come to you. So how much merciful you should be, ne? भाई मैं आपके पास इतना अभी आपसे सोचोगे एंड लाइक सपोज वन पर्सन कम्स टू यू कम टू यू एंड उसके पास कुछ पैसा ही नहीं है, वो बोल रहा है मैं मंदिर में रहना चाहता हूँ, आपने बोला ठीक है, बट अनदर व्यक्ति कम्स हु हैज crores of rupees and he's ready to give up all those things and come and just serve. So naturally we'll be more merciful to him ना, भाई इतना सब छोड़ छाड़ गया है. So वैसे ही if we are getting more of lusty desires and thoughts, we should understand कि मैं कृष्णा देखो मैं इतना पापी हूँ, इतना इतने हद तक हूँ, मैं फिर भी छोड़ने के लिए रेडी हूँ आपके लिए. तो अब तो मर्सी करो प्लीज. अब now at least you should do show some mercy upon me. So this way Krishna will definitely show mercy. So the point is that try to become Krishna conscious in every situation. Try to become Krishna conscious in every situation. Whether it is lust attacking one time, two times, 1,000 times. I am showing to Krishna, Krishna, I am choosing you. Okay, I am conditioning is one thing, but my desire is another thing. Krishna will not see our conditioning, Krishna will see our desire. Is it okay, bro? Okay, Vishwas Prabhu, you have your hand raised. Please tell.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। जस्ट एक क्वेश्चन क्लैरिफाई करना था प्रभु जी। हम लोग जानते हैं कि जो कृष्णा बुक है हमारा वो 10th कैंटो का ही पूरा है, शायद ऐसा है। और कृष्णा और 10th कैंटो के लिए प्रभुपाद कहते हैं कि पहले 9th कैंटो तक आप पूरा पढ़िए, उसके बाद से आप 10th कैंटो, और उसके बाद भी आप जो आपके सुपीरियर्स हैं उनके ब्लेसिंग से आप ऐसा पढ़ना चाहिए शायद। तो भी डिवोटीज कहते हैं कि तो
मैं बताता हूँ, समझ गया आपका क्वेश्चन। तो यही मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ प्रभु कि यस, 10th कैंटो जो हमको पढ़ना है वो हमको 9th कैंटो के बाद पढ़ना होता है। लेकिन कृष्णा बुक के साथ ये क्राइटेरिया नहीं। अगर आप वो पढ़ेंगे, प्रभुपाद जी की बुक की लिस्ट भी लिखी है, उसमें 2 बुक लिखा है, साइमल्टेनियसली पढ़ सकते हैं आप, प्रभुपाद लीलामृत और कृष्णा बुक। नए व्यक्ति को भी हम भगवत गीता के साथ क्या देते हैं? कृष्णा बुक देते हैं ना। क्यों देते हैं कृष्णा बुक? क्योंकि कृष्णा बुक एक्चुअली प्रभुपाद ने ऐसे लिखा है कि हम उसको डायरेक्टली पढ़ सकते हैं, बिकॉज ऑफ मर्सी ऑफ प्रभुपाद। सो यस, वैसे एक्सेसिबल नहीं है 10th कैंटो, हमको 9th कैंटो पढ़ने चाहिए। लेकिन आचार्य आके खुद हमको दे रहे हैं, गलितम फलम सुखम उकाद अमृत द्रव्य संयुतम, तो वो हमारे लिए बहुत रिलेशेबल हो जाता है। इसलिए प्रभुपाद जी की कृष्णा बुक के थ्रू हम 10th कैंटो के पास टेंस पढ़ेंगे ना, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। 100%। आप किसी से भी
उस
पूछ, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं बताएगा।
प्रभु जी उसमें कोई चैप्टर्स, कोई एक्सेप्शंस भी नहीं है, पूरा पढ़ सकते हैं हम लोग।
हाँ,
ठीक है प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद। हरे कृष्ण।
another question we have here: what if my counselor is telling to eat sufficient because I am having weight loss? How to balance eating sufficiently and not overeating? How to eat to gain weight? तो सिंपल चीज बताया ना, देखिए, अगर आप खा रहे हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है खाने में, बस आपको डिजीज नहीं होना चाहिए, आपको लेजीनेस नहीं होना चाहिए, और आपको क्या कहते हैं, जो बाकी प्रॉब्लम्स आप ही लोगों ने बताया ना, वो सब नहीं होना चाहिए, तो सही है। अगर वो सब हो रहा है तो समझना चाहिए कि ओवर ईटिंग कर रहे हैं। सी, वेट वेट गेन करने के लिए खाना ज्यादा खाने से वेट गेन होता है, ऐसा नहीं है। खाना डाइजेस्ट करने से वेट गेन होता है। तो डाइजेस्ट तो उतना ही कर पाएंगे जितना आपकी कैपेसिटी है। तो आपका डाइजेशन अच्छा नहीं है, तो उसको इम्प्रूव करना चाहिए। वेट लूज और गेन खाने से डिपेंड नहीं होता है, आपके डाइजेशन के ऊपर डिपेंड होता है। बहुत सारे डिवोटीज बहुत कम खाते हैं, मैंने देखा, बहुत मोटे मोटे लोग कम खाते हैं, वो मोटे ही रहते हैं। और पतले पतले लोग खूब ज्यादा खाते हैं, वो पतले ही रहते हैं। क्योंकि वेट क्या होता है, वो खाना आपको लगना चाहिए, अंदर डाल रहे हो वो पीछे से निकल जाएगा, लेकिन वेट कब बढ़ाएगा, तब वो डाइजेस्ट होगा। तो डाइजेशन मेन चीज है, नॉट द अमाउंट। ठीक है प्रभु जी। So thank you very, very much, Prabhuji, for your patient hearing. And next week, we are going to start with the next shloka, second, which is Rup Goswami says that if you want to have this 6 controlling of the 6 urges, तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? तो बोले लाइफस्टाइल चेंज करना पड़ेगा ये अर्जेस को कंट्रोल करने के लिए। और लाइफस्टाइल क्या है? कुछ प्रतिकूल चीजों को त्यागना पड़ेगा, वो सेकंड वर्स में आएगी। कुछ अनुकूल चीजों को अपनाना पड़ेगा, वो थर्ड वर्स में आएगा। तो इसलिए नेक्स्ट जो 2 वर्सेज है वो और भी ज्यादा प्रैक्टिकल रहेंगे। हम देखते हैं हम कितना उसको डिस्कस कर पाते हैं, चर्न आउट कर पाते हैं। एंड वीडियो प्रभु, अभी समय हो गया है, इट्स 8 o'clock, सो वी विल नॉट हैव वीडियो, बट व्हाट वी कैन डू इज आई विल पुट इन द ग्रुप, ऑल ऑफ यू कैन सी पर्सनली। इट्स अ 7 minute Srila Prabhupada शॉर्ट वीडियो। थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच। हरे कृष्णा। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, रूप गोस्वामी पाद की जय, भक्ति उपदेश अमृत की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंद।